So much.
It was too much.
It just didn't look functional.
I can appreciate the gesture.
From a fashion standpoint.
But it was a little bit too much to
Too
wear.
much.
Okay, so was that him or was he paying homage to the other?
I don't know if somebody just made that connection on their own. I'm not sure if that was his intent.
I think they made it.
I think they made it on their own. I think somebody found a reference. I don't know. I think somebody drew the line for him.
Oh, you think? You really think that?
There's a part of
Because I didn't know, I didn't even know that he had, that Hector had passed. I think, Hector Extravaganza, he's like one of the godfathers from back in the day of Ballsy.
On social media, they had a picture of him
And the other guy.
saying he was president. So people were saying that he was paying homage.
We should be all right now, because we already
He
live.
said no, he thinks he did that on his own.
Yeah, I think he did that
Go
one.
ahead and introduce
You know, if I could
our other guests is getting some food.
and he's still good because
Good evening, welcome to Cocktails and Conversation,
I feel
Okay. Once again, good evening and welcome to Cocktails and Conversation. Good evening. Distinguished guests tonight we have from the Gentleman's Foundation, Juan Small and G Small. Y'all give it up for them? You guys want to tell us a little bit about your foundation? Yeah.
Sure. So I'm Juan Smalls, this is G Smalls. We're the co-founders of the Gentleman's Foundation. It's a nonprofit here in Atlanta. We're dedicated to basically encouraging same-gender loving and gay, bi, and trans gentlemen to live their best life. We do that through mental health and wellness. We do the annual gala, the Gentleman's Ball, where we honor those in our communities who've just made some dynamic moves throughout the year in their career, for their community service, and then just for being all around true gentlemen and true gentlewomen as well. So we also give out scholarships too. We gave out about $20,000 in scholarships last year. So
Great, that's great. Yes, I've been following you. I worked with you guys before, and the way that you put on your presentation, the way that you put on your events is beyond the back of it.
oh, thank you so much.
They are the top standard. You guys held a standard that people really had to come up to as far as those events, because your events are beyond pride to me. They're beyond pride. They're beyond most of the LGBT community's events on our side of the fence. So to me, it's kind of like step up your game.
I like to think that it's not so much young, but just offering something different.
Different, yeah.
Because I think everything that we all offer has something to offer to the community. Because we like to go through all the types of things, so it's just something just to offer to the community.
It's our offering.
Yeah, it's our
great way to put it.
Like you.
We oftentimes compare unnecessarily. Because there's a competition in the events we put on or the events other people put on. It's as you said, an offering. And so there's thank you.
That's awesome. So it's not it's not a slap in the face to anybody else. It's just let's have more events that are put well together and formed as you guys.
Right.
And not all over the place.
Right.
That's awesome. And then to my left of me, I have Mr. Meak. Y'all, he was with us last month, and the conversation got really heated.
Well, it wasn't me. Once again, good evening. My name is Nico Evans. I'm CEO of Meak Productions. We're known as the world's first LGBT exclusive talent agency and production company. This year, we celebrated 15 years. So So I know when DJ Rick first told me about this particular cocktails and conversations that he wanted to do, and he wanted me to be involved with it, I said, of course, sure, because the only way that we can heal our community, especially with all of the, and I know we've talked about this at many of you all's events as well, the unresolved trauma that is still being perpetuated in the Black LGBT community. I felt that it was very important for us to actually start embarking upon a road of healing and restoration. So, I mean, I'm all for that, you know, and even without the brand, it's a Black Gay America. One of the reasons why I created that brand is so that I think one of the ways that we can learn how to heal is, first of all, we got to know where we come from. And in many cases, we don't even know. There's a lot of Black LGBT people that opened up a lot of doors for us, but was never recognized. Many of them are unsung heroes. We know about some of the ones that did get the recognition, but what about those that never got the recognition?
Right.
You know, those that are actually on the ground, you know, that's, you know, been in the grassroots arena, making sure that we still have our freedom. So that's what's really important to me. So of course, you know, I was very proud to, and I'm grateful that you actually had me to be a part of it.
Appreciate you. Because you're a good man and you do a lot behind the scenes to keep me. And at this time, I would like to welcome to the stage, he wants to be Grand Marshal.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, because he just was Grand Diva.
Y'all get up for Mr. Mario, Mr. Ryan, founder of Tri-Culture. Tell us about your organization, Mario.
You may have to hold it.
No, sir.
It should be on. We trying to get them together. We're also streaming on YouTube Live and stuff. Hoping that the streaming is still going, because sometimes the internet connection is funny. It's good? Okay, cool. No, it's still working.
Let's see what we got going on. All right, we in business now.
Hold on for a minute. Feel that. You don't want to be up too close. Hold on. Hey.
All right.
Now we in the house.
Well, I'm the president of Tri-Culture, which I started last year, so I'm going to my second year now. Tri-Culture is more of giving back to the young adults that's in college with HIV. And so what we want to do is try to help them provide them housing, toiletries, books, counseling, Big Brother, Big Sister program, just encourage them to keep going through college so they're not on their own. So it's more of a backbone to push them. Whereas many people that I see come along, they can't afford housing, they can't hardly make it through school because they don't have no money coming in. So I want to help push them to keep striving to be who they want to be. That's all.
Great. Yeah. As well, we have our famous, I have to give a shout out. Photographer in the house tonight, y'all. Give it up for Mr. Savon.
Savon?
Yeah, I said that. I have to do it properly. And then what we're going to go ahead and get into the subject tonight. First, we're going to give hot topics. What I did was ask each member of the panel to give their version of what is the trendy topic to them at this moment, like what you want to discuss.
We're gonna start with that side.
Okay. We're going to start to my left and go to my right.
Let me give a shout out to all of our new guests that's coming in. Just please, you can find a seat, just find a seat and have, just come on in and join in, and there's some free food, little snacks at the bar. I want to give a shout out to Seven Photography that's doing us our justice, saving me a lot of work. So I want to give Seven a shout out. I know you had kind of sent some topics via, I know the group chat and stuff like that, but I think one of the main topics that we want to talk about is, of course, and let me do something right quick. Can everybody back there in the bar kind of keep it down, because we're actually doing live streaming right now, so thank you so much. Don't mean to call y'all out. You know I love you. Don't mean to love. You know I love you. But I think one of the most important topics that I want to
Where you don't support them, you like them, you hate them, you love them. I think we can all agree, if you're associated with the name, you know for yourself, for your brand, whatever you're promoting, just because the controversy surrounding his name, the notoriety behind his name, the infamy of his name. So if people want to be away from him, I think he's, from that perspective, like he's a marketing genius when it comes to that.
Yeah, he's a shrewd businessman.
I mean, yeah, so
he's a shrewd businessman, but at one point, because a lot of the things that he based his business and building it on, he put somebody who was actually behind him, doing the work for him, pushing it, and he came in and took credit, just like
marketing.
Right, but yeah, but the thing is, and which the documentation tells you, what's his first wife name? Ivanka was running everything. She was the person that went out and did everything. He came in behind her. When he started dating Brandon, so she would never know that he was dating her.
So I think from that perspective, you have to kind of separate parts of the man. Relationships and all of that, that's on one side of the coin. The other side is business dealings. And so, on the one hand, when I saw the documentary too, and so it's like, so when you realize that these big businesses all operate like that, they're dealing with money that they don't really have in the bank. It's all up the valuation to get the most return. All that, like that's just the game. So from that perspective, like I don't really fault Trump in that business arena. Like yeah, he did some dirt. He didn't pay all of his contractors, and that's wrong. But at the end of the day, I don't think he was doing anything too drastically different than any of your big companies out there, Coke and all of these. Well, the bragging, once again, is the marketing strategy.
Right, but your bragging doesn't match what you're marketing.
But everybody bought it. You know, everybody bought it. So,
they bought it and then they turned around and like a lot of his co-partners were like, we can't do this, but yet you still did it. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm with you. I don't knock what he's doing because that does make him brilliant as far because he got everybody to play into his hand. But my problem with it is that now it's like no one's really like.
Well, see, now that's a different story. Now, Trump as president is totally different than
right. That's what I'm just saying. When he get in his past, he has it's not fair. He's straight on everything. It's like everything he did then, he's still doing the same thing now. So everything he said then, when he carried himself then, he's carrying himself now. So why?
Do you expect him to be different?
No, I don't expect him to be different, but I expect people to see the difference. There is no difference in the man from then to now. So why are you protecting and playing with this man when you know, like his lawyer fight? And then I called him too because he was, like he said, he was his go-to man. He was the man that handled everything. If you was handling everything, then for whatever reason, you was doing it for game recognition, whatever. But you played it for so long, like 10 years. You know, it's he said 10. He said a decade. So, well, it was his words today. He said a decade. For 10 years, you covered, and you actually did that, which Donald was smart because what he did was he never said, "Go do this."
Right.
He always said, "Oh." And you would have did it. So really, you are at fault, and you just enabled him to do what he was doing anyway.
Right.
So that's my topic, and I'm done with it.
Now, I think what we also need to look at is going back to what I said about just lump it up with the other isms. They're celebrity, and a lot of people are around a lot of people are around high-profile people, like you just said, because of status, prestige, material resources, whatever connection they think that they're going to get. Case in point, if you look at the situation with Omarosa, Because if you look at when, you know, we already know Omarosa's track record and stuff like that, but when she actually told the truth, and she had to start realizing, because a lot of people first saw Donald Trump and saw him as a celebrity. Because I mean, Donald Trump was around. Everybody come to find out there were pictures of him at Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's wedding. I didn't know that. So he was everywhere. You see what I'm saying? So this is way before he even thought about even running for president. Even though we talked about it years ago. But I'm looking at, when you look at him from, like I said, being the marketing genius and from being the shrewd businessman that he is, that's the side that people saw him. But once he became president, then all of a sudden people started seeing this other side of him that either they didn't know was there or they knew it was there, but they, like I said, they just ignored it because of his status. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, even with Omarosa's case, she had to turn around and she had to actually admit, you know, I was wrong. I did some people wrong. And now I said, you know, that's why, well, you know, I don't agree with her tactics or anything like that, but it takes a real man and a real woman to admit, you know what, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I messed up, you know, I did a lot of people wrong as a result of my belief in this man or my belief in what I thought, you know what I'm saying, what, you know, was what it was, and then come to find out.
The rundown of that is basically like Juan said, it's for recognition. You're trying to gain something. And even though they come back and apologize about it, they knew from the get-go. So your apology, just to make a public statement and apologize to me, is not worth. Because you're really not.
I disagree with that, so, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, you have to turn an introspective eye.
Mark will bring it. Roland's gonna bring it. So, but yes, and I was very surprised that she actually confessed and told, hey, you know, keep in mind, I didn't have a father, I didn't have a male figure. Did he say? But I understand, because once again, we know how women are treated overall. And we know that the black woman is really up under the white woman. You know what I'm saying? You know, white woman's going to get more than the black woman. So looking at that, you know, from a historical perspective and how they've been treated over the years, you know what I'm saying? You know, look at how long my girl, Regina King, had to work before she finally got recognized, finally. First asked her to get her Emmy wins and then to finally get her Oscar.
So can I ask
She earned the right for that. You know what I'm saying? She earned that because she worked. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So then do you just, as a rule, support a black woman regardless of her actions because she's a black woman?
No, remember what I said. I don't support her actions. Like I said, I kind of felt that she had more with anybody. You know, there's always a better way to do something. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like the fact that people sacrifice their integrity, because I'm a sucker for that. You know, I mean, it's your integrity that I look at. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to sell your soul just to get ahead. Now, a lot of people think that they have to, and if that's your choice, that's fine, that's you. But that doesn't mean that, you know, I support that, you know, because I know one of the reasons why I struggle the way that I do is because I'm not willing to sell out. And I'm okay with that, because I have to make sure when I go to bed, when I get home, I have to sleep at night. I have to make sure I have peace. And then I have to make sure that I stand in line with, you know, my integrity and the morals that, you know, I gained from my life journey and being connected to the divine source. You see what I'm saying? You know, that if other people, you know, what's right for somebody else may be bad for me.
Exactly.
That's why I tell you, right and wrong, good and bad is relative. Because see, like I say, because what's bad for you may be good for me.
Right.
And so that's the perspective that I'm talking from. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't agree with people's methods, but I can understand why you feel that you need to do that. But I don't agree with it. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, let's move on. So now I'm gonna go. Well, Mario.
We haven't heard from you. Oh, just been listening. But no, okay. My biggest topic is Jesse. With him, I'm just trying to figure out, does he have a mental health problem, or what is he trying to do to actually bring all of that among himself when he already has this career? So I just can't figure it out. I can't balance it out. Like, what are you going through that you had to think outside of that box?
Okay, let me say this. Okay. So let's drop this. Okay, I know it's a hot topic and everybody wants to talk about it. And we do want you guys' opinion as well, and we want to hear you out as well. I want to start by saying, not everything you hear is the truth. When CPD comes out and lay a case before you, before the FBI even say that when they tell you you overstated, and they tell you that they haven't even finished their investigation, how did you come up with your full analysis of what happened? So at that point, when he started throwing out receipts of what the check was rolled out for, the conversation that happened way before he got jumped, what they told him to do with the meal deal, as far as his bill, you call it text, the text is on there. The text has been released between both parties. He sent a text to them, asking them what do he need to do to get his body right for a video shoot. They gave him a bill plan, asking him, are you on your bill plan? Yeah, I'm on my bill plan. I mean, it's all there. I placed it on Facebook for everybody to read. So he has his receipts covered. That's why they're going after CPD. The boys don't get paid. So fuck him.
I mean, nobody knows really. And so to answer your question, I don't think that we can answer a question like that because you're assuming that he's guilty and he did this. And so you want to know, how could you do this? Well, we can't answer how could you do this because we don't know if he did this.
Exactly.
Right? But I think the bigger thing is that aside from Jussie himself is the response from the community. And outside the black LGBT and same-gender other community.
Absolutely.
But just the response, and we talk about the response on because many of us have already convicted him. It's almost like we are hoping that he did this. And so I think that's the bigger thing to talk about is why are so many of us so quick to hope that he did do this?
I don't think they're more of hoping that he did it. I think they just don't understand the whole situation because it's not adding up across the board.
But that's why you wait until evidence is proven and you don't claim somebody guilty before they're judged.
And then it's like, why not give a man who has done nothing but show himself as outstanding to the community?
Absolutely.
I don't know Jussie personally. I probably know him more personally than most great things for the community. And let's see what's going to happen versus this. He was looking for a date. He's on drugs.
Right.
What's going on that he's going to lie and say? If he was to set this up, could he be really that dumb to set it up this way, to write a check in that way? To me, it's just dumb. Like, I feel like the truth is out there and we haven't even heard the truth yet, to be honest with you. It's sad that so quick to convict him when he hasn't had his chance to prove himself.
One of the things that really got me, I don't know if people saw my Facebook Live that I did and heard, but I went off. Because one of the things that I was more upset, as you just stated, I was more upset with the response, not just from the black community, because many of us are still homophobic anyway, but I was really more upset at the members of our own black LGBTQ community. Like you just said, we've already convicted the boy, and like I said, I thought you was innocent until proven guilty. It's like, according to the court of public opinion, it's like we've already convicted the boy, and that's really unfair to him. So you can imagine what he's going through after all of the activism work that he's done, because a lot of people don't know this boy has been doing community activism work way before he even got popular on Empire, and I explained in my Facebook Live that I had a chance to meet Jussie in 2013. I met him by way of Maurice Jamal, and so I met him like a year and a half before he actually even got the deal, before meeting Lee Daniels and getting the deal with Empire. And this boy was doing community activism beforehand, working with Patrick Ian Pope on his independent films and stuff like that. So he's been out in the community representing us in a host of life way before then.
Yeah,
so
family is.
That's another thing I talked about, the whole Smollett family. When it comes to social justice, they don't play. They have a track record of that. So
Go ahead,
and like I said, I've always felt when all of this was actually coming out, and then new news was coming out about even the Chicago PD and their track record. Why would any black person, period, believe any police department? Why would Black Lives Matter exist?
Okay, so just because we're perfect on the outside, that doesn't mean we're not dealing with something on the inside.
That's true.
So this. I just weigh my option of what's going on.
And that's true. It's just,
I believe it's being set up. Go ahead.
To me, it's just, like you said, that goes on the inside of people. But when you look at the way this whole thing has played out, I just don't believe that is going on inside of this man because he just.
Even if it is,
to be,
Excuse me, are we allowed to interact with you all?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on just a second.
Let me.
Well, why are you going over there to him?
Okay, the first initial response that I saw was support for him. There was reported that he was attacked by Trump supporters and things, and it was a hate crime.
Right.
So, but then after different, I guess evidence started coming out.
So if I.
Because when I'm sorry, hold on just a second. Because like the accusations first came about with him, and then it grew from like 2 to like 10, and then 15, and I believe it was a total of over 60 women. I was with him at first, but then when it just kept piling up and piling up, I couldn't do it anymore.
Okay,
I couldn't support him anymore. The evidence keeps
Well, even in the Cosby situation, people admitted they lied, but that's neither here nor there. So to address the part of your statement where you said when the evidence started to come out, that's when people support Wayne. And to me, it was like, that's fake news because no evidence came out. There were headlines, salacious headlines, there was leaked, alleged allegations. And so that's what I was saying to everybody. It's like, these are allegations. These are allegations. There's not one piece of evidence that these articles are writing about, that the Chicago PD is putting out, that's concrete evidence. So it's all hearsay, it's all circumstantial. We know how they likes to fuck with us. They portray criminal life. John Martin is the thug. You see our mug shots versus the graduation shots that they show for white people. White people aren't terrorists, but if you're black, they just use language and headlines to everyone believing that and going the mental health piece on it. Now everyone's a psychologist and a psychiatrist. And I feel like we should tread lightly when we move into that space because when you're dealing with mental illness, that's not something to joke around about. That's not something to convict someone more because they may be suffering from some sort of illness. So to see all of that going on in the community, it really broke my heart wide open. Because it's like, these are some of the same people who I have intimate relationships with condemning this man for something that is like, well, what if that was me?
Absolutely.
What if that was me, your friend, your loved one? Would you be saying the same thing?
And then we as black people already have a history of not dealing with real mental health issues anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that adds more to the fire. I want to get to him first because he was first in the
Yeah, just before you get to him, just a note, you said that was the first time you see people like backlash. Actually, the first backlash came when it first came out. They was like, girl, you was out looking for, what was you doing at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I saw that too.
I'd have been out when it's freezing cold and went somewhere. They don't stop me from going to get something to eat if I'm hungry. I'm gonna be out and I ain't looking for nothing.
I saw support for him first.
No, support wasn't the support that it was like some saying, yeah, I'm sorry, but the first thing that came across Facebook, Instagram was, girl, you out looking for, you was on Grindr, you was on. That was the first, actually, those were the first responses came out. So
I did see a lot more support from the celebrity world in the beginning. And I did, to your point, I did see a lot from us as well, but I think that initially, those were a lot of the conversations that went on.
And then what get me is,
Which was even fake news then, because they said it was a polar vortex or whatever, which was not true.
and then if you're supporting someone, I'm not gonna put my support from you because somebody else came out with these other allegations against you and said this is the storyline. Which, if I'm supporting you, I'm looking through there like, that ain't your storyline. You ain't, wait a minute, that ain't what happened. But you pull your support from me and you want to start trying to blackball me, then you never supported me at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
You're looking out for yourself.
Because you're not even giving me the benefit of
Right, you're looking out for yourself and you're pulling away, just like Lee Daniels came and said, oh, we're not gonna take him from Empire, we're not gonna take his role from him, which it was still part of the executive decision of Fox to remove him because they didn't want, and I get that they didn't want the whole news, media's frenzy going on around what they trying to film.
Can he do work?
Right, so I understand that part, but as far as I went Terrence, if I support you, I support you. I don't pull my support from you.
Absolutely.
So for the cast members that has and the staff members that has, I just don't feel that they were genuine at the beginning. They was just, you're looking out for self, and you call yourself my family, but you're not my family because you're not saying my family's gonna stay behind you going to what. They're not gonna say, oh, because this came out, no, you go home, no, they're gonna say, no, we're here till the end. If we find out that you are guilty of this or you are wrongful of this, then we will deal with you accordingly and how we go forward with you. But until that day, we're gonna give you that benefit and we're gonna wait it out and see what the outcome is. You're telling us this and we're gonna believe you.
Let me let Eric say something right now.
Okay, there are a lot of different ways to cut this. I don't want to monopolize any time, but I'm sure other people have thoughts. One of the first things I'll say in defense of Jesse was that I watched how in the beginning when he was the victim, there was a certain type of picture that they used. Everything was smiling and was showing him in his best light. When the suspicion started to incur, that's when you saw the Trayvon Martin effect kick and all of her, they're not showing him smiling as much. So I literally, before I even formed what I would say was my opinion about it, I watched how the media did what they did. I've never liked how they've characterized us. Okay. Whenever it's a person that's black, there's a certain way that they characterize us to push whatever the narrative is for that story. So that was something that I saw off the rip before I even came up with my own opinion. The one thing that I want to say that was really interesting to me about this is that now that there are a lot more suspicions, people are not really sure about what's going on. Now we are culturally and collectively saying, hey, you guys, let's take a beat. I'll let you all go. Let's take a beat and let's see what's going on. Let's wait for all the evidence to come out. However, in the beginning, very conveniently, when Erykah Badu said the same thing, in the beginning, before any of this happened, she said, when everyone was, oh, he's the victim, and let's share and spread our pictures about him, she said, hey, y'all, let's take a beat and just see what's going on. They crucified her. So what I see is not so much support, more than I see what I've been saying a lot of times. People are choosing loyalty over logic. At the end of the day, what we're not made or that you're against the community.
For me, it don't add up that he staged this. You know, when I think of the quote-unquote evidence that allegedly happened, and you know, when I give it my deepest critical thought, it don't add up that Jussie staged this beating and said we're gonna do it here, and I magically know which way the cameras point, and we're gonna do all of this, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. To me, it just makes zero sense. I'm gonna write you a $3,500 check, you're gonna go to Nigeria, and when you get back, I'm gonna give you $500 more. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So when I put my thinking, like the evidence isn't there, and knowing how the media portrays us, knowing how a headline is meant to grab your attention regardless of the facts and of the evidence, and knowing that the story has changed, and with the evidence that continues so unfathomable for people to think that the brothers set all of this up, and they are the masterminds behind it. Why is that not on the top of people's mind? It's always, the narrative is Jussie did it. Even with them on camera buying ski masks and hats and all of that stuff, the conversation is still around Jussie.
And I just want to say one thing about the video of him buying. If y'all notice, every video of a store has a time stamp. Nowhere on that video is there a time stamp, date, or anything on it.
On what video?
The video of the store down the road.
So wait, and another thing, critically thinking, when does the police to discuss a case that's an ongoing ongoing investigation,
Right.
responds so emotionally. To me, that just screams reasonable doubt. You know, and so when we're thinking critically,
Of destroying black lives, and they've been caught in it. They've
And
been sued
covering up
multiple times.
information.
They've been covering up. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then when I look at the fact that, okay, the reason why Justin was in Chicago because they was taping the last episodes of the Empire season. So that would he had a reason to be in Chicago. So you're looking at all of these scenarios, and then when the feds are coming out and they are saying that they don't trust, they're publicly saying, because this was reported, thanks to you posting it, they are publicly saying that no, we don't believe what the police superintendent is saying because our evidence is showing something different. Go
And
ahead.
nobody's really posting those pieces of articles.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time, but I had to be expressive. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm gonna say is that as a public figure, I feel like, you know, you always know the behind the scenes, and for Jesse Smollett, for him to be on Empire, I feel like he's not. First of all, he's not stupid, right? And then secondly, I feel like what Jesse did was he did whatever. Even if you talk to your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousin, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. But I feel like everybody's moving towards this social trend where they feel like they want to be keyboard gangsters and they want to move just like as they did for trends. We're talking about this now, but there's still bigger issues that we've had as a black gay community previous to this, but this is what we're talking about, which means that we're focusing on trend on this just because it's on our timeline. What I'm trying to say, I don't think this is bigger than an issue. If Jesse decided to do this particularly to bring emphasis on I believe if Jesse, I don't blame Jesse. If I can be 100% real, I told a white lie, please don't act like all four of y'all, no. But y'all, please don't act like all four of y'all mofos ain't told a white lie in the your life to get your point across. And I feel like Jesse, that's exactly what Jesse is doing. I don't blame, and you may disagree, but the facts, if the facts are 50-50, that means somebody is lying. And I know that is lying, and it don't mean that the other ones is lying. But you can't tell me that you're gonna write a check, set it up. I do believe that Jesse set it up because he was trying to make emphasis on something that he felt was important to him as an actor. Is that Jesse didn't expect it to be to where it's going to be.
Let me stop you for a minute. Let me ask you this, because you said you believe he set this up for what did he gain? What did he actually gain from it? What was he looking to prove from this? So, because you're reading his mind right now, you saying what you feel he did it for. So, what actually did he do this for? What is the gain out of it? What has he gotten out of it? What? I want to shout out to him.
I think it's trying to gain out of this.
Right.
It's like 50-50. We don't know if he's trying to gain something or it didn't really happen.
But
But
at this point,
But people who believe that he did it, why do you believe he would do it?
Would do it.
Because
and before you answer that, my question would be, along with his, wait. My question would be that even from the point that it was thought to be set up, you could come out and lay this whole buffet in front of me and say, this is everything that had the timeline by timeline. All these people came up with all these different cameras from different angles, and then we got you and we got them. Like, what is he getting from that? And I mean, it's just, we're not out at that point. If I got that much laid out on me, and it's on national TV, and all this, and everybody, you got it. There's no reason for me to carry this anymore. Yeah, I apologize. I lied. And I was trying some recognition for something that I'm trying to do, or somewhere I'm trying to go with this. But now that I see that it fell into this category, maybe I was what I wanted it to be. Then let not say you can say I lied. If you're that passionate about something and yeah, I lied.
I feel like at the point that they had a warrant up of his arrest, that at that point,
It allegedly